Hello, welcome back to a new video. My name is Cece. I'm an illustrator artist based in New York City. I draw cute stuff. Today we are doing a crafty project. I have a lot of pins. Hold on. I have been collecting enamel pins. Okay, I love them. This one is from Tokyo Shoujo. We got this one in Canada at Anime North. This one is from Le Petit Elephant. I think we got this one at C2E2. Another Anime North collection. This one is from my friend Anne, Arcasian. She's Canadian. Check her out. She's very cute. This one I got in February. Yeah, I've been really collecting all of these enamel pins, and I have been doing this thing where every time I do a convention or I help Marianne at a convention, I buy myself an enamel pin as like a souvenir, and that way I get to support other artists, and I also get a little memory from from the convention. This one's from Doozy Crafts. It's really cute. Hold on. It's this fan one with a little dangly. I got this one at Brooklyn Comic Con. Yeah, so like I have these little memories now, and I have been wanting to make myself a pin banner to put all of the pins on. I also have all the pins that I've made in the past. I would like to have somewhere to display those. If you can hear a lot of clanging, that's Boba playing with her toy, doing doggy things. Yeah, so I looked at a bunch of different pin banners. I thought about buying one. I thought about crocheting one. And then in the last few months, I have become obsessed with looking at quilts. Okay, I've been obsessed with looking at quilts. I am currently working on a patchwork skirt project. I think I saw a TikTok where someone made a patchwork dress, and I was like, I could do that. So I've been slowly working on a little patchwork gathered skirt, and I've decided that I need to learn how to make an actual quilt, because I would like to make quilts for Boba. I would like to make her a dog bed. I would like to make her a little blanket. I would like to make a blanket for our couch. I'm scared. I've never quilted before. I don't know really I've been reading a lot of blog posts about it to learn. But I think a pin banner, which is relatively small, would be a really good place to start. So yeah, I bought myself this fat quarter kit set. It is the Rose Glow by Abby Mead fat quarter kit, curated by Abby, from Art Gallery Fabrics. Yes, and there's all of these pretty colors. You know me, I love a good pink. I love a good like mustardy yellow. So I think this is what we're gonna go with. And I have this pin banner tutorial that I found on quilterscandy.com. I'm gonna post the blog post down in the description, and I'll also post a link to where I got this. I got this from fatquartershop.com or something. Yeah, so let's get started. I need to pick out my fabrics for the pin banner for the because the way that it looks is that it has like a sawtooth star. I love sawtooth stars. I'm obsessed. It has a sawtooth star and then like a backing. So I'm gonna pick out those fabrics and then cut out the sizes that I need, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've picked out my fabrics. These are the fabrics I've picked out for my sawtooth star, and then these are my background fabrics that I've picked out. I have to cut 3 by 3 squares, one of each of these star fabrics, and then 6 3 by 3 squares of a background fabric to make the sawtooth star, and then I'll use the rest of the background fabrics to make the rest of the pin banner. I'm wondering if I can squeeze the whole background out of one fat quarter. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna start with making the star, and then we'll see progress from there. So based on instructions, I have tried my first attempt at half square, 2 at a time half square triangles. So what you do is you put your 2 pieces right sides together. So the background piece and the color piece, 2 sides together. Right sides together. Right sides together, and then you mark down the diagonal, and then you sew a 1/4 inch seam away from the middle diagonal on both sides. So I've gone ahead and sewn this one and then this one. I sewed them both in the same direction because apparently that helps with warping. And now I have to cut this, and then we'll see if it turned out. Question mark? My 2 little half square triangles. They came out. So I'm going to have to square these up into 2.5 by 2.5 squares, which I'm going to do later. I'm going to go ahead and sew all of these together to make these seams, cut them, and then iron them open and then trim them. And then we can go ahead towards making the store. It's a star! I have to sew all of the pieces together, and then the quilt block bit is done. And then we have to do the border, and then the quilting. But I'm really excited. I love her. It turned out so cute. I'm so pleased. Some of the points are not perfect. Here, there's a small gap. And then here, that doesn't match up perfectly. But overall, I think for my first, half square triangle, half triangle square sawtooth star, it looks pretty good. And I think from far away I won't even notice really that the little corners are not perfect. So yeah, next step is to cut out the background piece for the top, the sides, and the bottom. So I'm gonna do that and then sew them on, and then it's quilting time. I'm going so fast. So I managed to squeeze everything out of 1 fat 1/4, except this is a little bit shorter. In the pattern they said to use 7 inches. This is about 6.5, so it's a little bit shorter, but that's fine. It's not gonna bother me. Yeah, I have to sew these seams together and then these seams together, and then the top is done, and then we have to figure out how the actual quilting part works. Okay, update. This is happening so much faster than I thought it was going to happen. I'm thrilled. So here is our quilt top. This is the pin banner bit. So I'm going to put the pins all on the white bits. I think it's going to look so cute. And then I have cut batting to size. I bought this off of Fat Quarter Shop, and I got the 50% bamboo, 50% cotton one. And then I have cut one of the fat quarters down to size. I probably could have used one of the cast off bits from the star, but I actually think that I might want to use it to make more of these pin banners, because I've been having so much fun. So I think I would like to use it to make more pin banners, and this fabric is not my favorite I think it's my least favorite out of the fat quarter stack, so I'm using this as the back because I'm not going to see it really. So I have my little sandwich. I'm going to pin these together, and then I'm going to draw guidelines, and then I'm going to be doing the quilting. I'm going to be hand quilting. I bought this thread. This is 50 weight Egyptian cotton thread. I bought it at Brooklyn General Store this past weekend, and I also bought these between needles. I looked at a bunch of different blog posts, and they said that these were good like starter tools for hand quilting. I'm also interested in trying out big stitch hand quilting, which is where like the stitches are much bigger, but I'm going for small tiny hand stitches this time because I think it'll look nicer since the pin banner is such a small project. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pin this together and then draw my guidelines. Maybe I draw my guidelines first. I think I'll draw the guidelines first and then pin together and then start hand quilting. Ah! Update. I have been slowly hand stitching all these little running stitches, and that's the quilting part. So I'm just following the guidelines that I've already made. You can see the lines on the back too. They're not super even. I'm having a really hard time kind of figuring out how to do the rocking motion to get like multiple running stitches down. It's quite thick, so it's harder than just doing it with like 2 pieces of fabric, you know? So yeah, I would love to be able to get these stitches a little bit smaller, but it's hard. So I'm just gonna have a good time, have a grand old time practicing doing my little rocking motion, sewing these down, and then I'll see you all when that's done. But overall, really loving how it looks, and also really loving my rainbows. If you like rainbows, you can get my sun catchers in my shop. Update. The light is changing. It is 6:40 p.m. So we have been working on this for a whole day. I am legitimately thrilled with how this looks. I was a little bit hesitant when I did the first quilt line, this one or this one of them. I was hesitant because I was like, oh, you can see that my stitches aren't like perfectly even, and like I was having a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to get like the rocking motion that people say to use when hand quilting. But couple things, I decided to embrace the imperfections. Very difficult for me. And for two, I decided to just get as many stitches on my needle that as I could. Like I didn't have to, nobody's making me do like a ton of stitches at once, right? So I just like did 2 to 3 stitches at a time, did my little lines, trimmed everything down, cut it into the banner shape. I am so excited. I think it looks so good. Honestly, I'm so excited to have this up on my wall. I can't even, yeah, so the last step is to make the little dowel pocket that I bought this big, oh, nobody look at my stash of money. I bought this big dowel from Blix that I need to cut down. The pattern says to use a 14-inch dowel like length, but this is 36 inches, and it would be so perfect if I could do 12, 12, and 12, so I could fit 3 pin banners in someday eventually. So I'm gonna cut it down to 12, and I'm not gonna have the dowel bits overhang, and I think that's fine. So I'm gonna make the little pocket, sew the pocket onto the top, figure out how to make binding, and then bind this, and then I'm planning to bind the front, and then I'm gonna hand stitch the back of the binding. So hopefully it'll turn out. I'm really excited. Yeah! Okay, it's the next day. I am so thrilled with how this turned out. I can't even explain how happy I am. I think it turned out so cute. I'm so happy with it. I think it looks really great. I think that I now have an excuse to buy a lot more pins because there's a lot of space on here to fit more pins. I ended up doing the binding by hand on the back, so you can see the stitches on the back. I think it looks so nice, actually. Like, I was originally kind of worried that the hand stitching would make it look very homemade, and it does look very homemade, you know, because it is homemade. It's like a little quilt thing, and a quilt is typically homemade. So I think it has so much charm, and I'm so pleased with it. Honestly, the hardest part of this entire project was cutting the dowel down. I had a 36-inch dowel that I had to cut with a box cutter because I don't have a saw, and that was really hard, and I split my dowel in half for part of it, so that's fine. And I sanded it down so that it's nice and smooth. I think that the shorter length, the original tutorial said to do a 14-inch dowel. I did a 12-inch dowel. I think it looks perfect because it ends up matching up with the width of the banner almost perfectly, and I think that looks just so great. Yeah, I'm so thrilled with this. I can't wait to make more quilted projects at some point when I am less busy. Did I have time to spend an entire day slacking off and doing this instead of working on my calendar and future art things? Not really, but you know what? It's worth it because this looks so good. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of it. I think the hand stitching looks so nice. I would love to make this for friends and stuff. I was originally thinking I could make a couple to put in my shop, but because they are hand quilted, it ends up taking a really long time. So I'm not sure that it would be cost effective to make it for the shop, but we'll see. If you have any interest in buying one, let me know and maybe I will reconsider. I think it ended up taking, I ended up starting sewing at around 10:30, and I finished at around 8. Although I will say, I think I spent like 30 minutes trying to cut the dowel. I am going to buy myself I'm going to buy myself a little saw. I'm really excited. I'm going to buy myself a little saw so I can cut more dowels. I'm fine. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's so cute. And for my first quilted project ever. And the little points on the star don't match up perfectly, but like from afar you can't even see. And like I am so happy with this project that I don't even notice the imperfections anymore, which is really exciting because normally I'm very critical with myself. Yeah. And even the back, I told you I didn't really like the back fabric. It's grown on me. It has grown on me and I like it a lot more now. And I'm overall so pleased with this whole thing. I would love to make more. I have some blue fabrics that came in the fat quarter, so I would love to do a blue version of this. Yeah. Oh, some other notes. I did buy myself a thimble. I have a metal thimble that I used to push the needle through for, especially like around the star. There's a lot of seams, so it's really thick. And I definitely needed the thimble to help push the needle through. I also use the table sometimes, so I would like stick the needle into where I wanted the needle to go, and then I would use the table to push the needle through instead of my finger. I would like to buy myself a leather thimble at some point, or if one of you wants to gift me a leather thimble, because I've decided I don't like metal thimbles. They're very clunky, and I don't like that I can't feel my finger, which is the point. It's supposed to shield your finger, but like it feels, and I felt like I kept rubbing against the needle and stuff. Boba is really squeaking, so I need to take her out. But yeah, overall 10 out of 10. So happy with this. Really recommend trying to make something like this if you are a sewer. I think it's a very easy project. Another thing, sewing, I've done a couple sewing projects on this channel. Sewing tends to stress me out a lot because I don't like having to deal with fit. Didn't have to deal with fit for this, so all of this was so fun. It was so fun to see everything come together. All right, Boba needs to be taken out, so I'm gonna go do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was a fun little vlog for you, a little bit different for my channel. We haven't done a quilting project ever. We haven't done a sewing project in a really long time, so yeah. And I'm so excited for after August. Again, if you don't know, in August I have 2 conventions. I have Otakon, which is going to be in Washington DC, and I have Anime NYC, which is going to be in New York, and I also am going to be part of Stationery Fest, which is in Greenpoint, New York City, and I'm going to be in AC and Asian Homecoming Festival. It is going to be at Hana House in Brooklyn on the day after Stationery Fest. So my week, oh my god, my Otakon, then Stationery Fest, then ACN, all in 1 week. I might pass away. But if I survive August, I can't wait to make so many quilted projects. I want to make a dog bed. I want to make a pillow. I want to make a blanket. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I really like how this turned out. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this cozy little space on the internet. If you would like to see more vlogs like this, crafty vlogs or art vlogs or things like that, please consider subscribing. Yeah, I really want to hit 10K this year. Well, I don't know if I will, but yeah. Thank you so much. I will see you all later. Okay? Bye, friends.
Hi, Boba. Do you have anything to say? You're so squeaky. Huh? Boba.